Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with jazz guitarist and composer Tom Guarna. We caught up with him in the fall of 2020 to talk about his latest 2020 CD, Spirit Science. The album showcases the New York-based guitarist leading an all-star quintet in 9 flowing melodic originals inspired by the science of sacred geometry. DownBeat has praised him for emotion, tension, surprise, and passion. That's his music. That's his vibe. Enjoy.
You know, we're doing okay in New York. I'm in New York over here, so it's still a bit of a hot spot, but you know, kind of pushing through.
That's all you can do, man.
I know.
It's crazy times. Well, you know, you have, speaking of crazy times and a pandemic on planet Earth right now, you have an album that's out, Spirit Science. Talk to me a little bit about, before we get into the actual artistic construction of this album, what is it like to release an album during a global pandemic?
You know, I really don't have a reference because nothing like this has really happened before, at least in my lifetime. So everything, it seems like everyone's just winging it. You know, I mean, what can we really do? You put it out there, you know, you record, you put the music out there. You hope it will get to some people. I mean, for me personally, the biggest downside is the fact that I can't get out and I can't do live gigs, you know, to bring the music, you know, to the people personally, you know, so you have to kind of rely on social media and, you know, it makes things a little bit more difficult. You know, I'm used to being out there playing and doing live gigs, and that element is gone, and at least temporarily. And, you know, my relationship with social media is such where I really don't like to beat people over the head, you know, constantly either. So you kind of have to find a kind of middle ground where, you know, you're pushing the material, but you're not really, you know, being obnoxious about it. At least for me, that's how I feel about it. So it does make it a little bit difficult.
So talk to me a little bit about the actual artistic approach to this project. I've had time to listen to it. It's a great album. You got a great cast of musicians around you. Talk to me a little bit about what you were going for, what you're hoping the listener gets from this experience.
You know, first and foremost, I just hope they enjoy the music, just for music's sake, you know, just that the tunes speak to them. I really didn't have any grand, you know, spiritual deepness about the record as far as like pushing that on people. You know, it was a topic that I stumbled across, and then I wound up, you know, doing some reading on it, and I found it inspiring, and I wrote some material around that. And that's basically whether or not the listener really delves into what inspired me about the music or not is not really important to me, although that it would be great if it's something that helps enlighten them or get you know, turns them onto a path that interests them. But you know, I would just hope that they would enjoy the music, you know, for what it is, just the tunes.
Talk to me a little bit about, you were born in Brooklyn, raised in Staten Island. You grew up idolizing Jimi Hendrix and Jimmy Page, and that turned into jazz with Charlie Christian and Barney Costell. Talk to me a little bit about your beginnings and your getting enamored with jazz.
Well, my dad was a guitar player, passed a number of years back. But he was a lover of good music, regardless of style. I mean, he loved Hendrix and Jimmy Page and bands like, you know, people like that. And that's my early memories of music. But then there were Joe Passrise in the house. There was Steely Dan in the house. There was, you know, just Ry Cooder, you know, all kinds of different stuff in the house. I gravitated towards rock and roll early on. And that's kind of what I started doing, you know, growing up playing in bands and, you know, learning the guitar. And then later on, I really, what pivoted me really is I started getting into more electric instrumental music, Return to Forever, Alan Halsworth, people like that. And through that, loving that music, then that even led me back to more straight ahead, like Coltrane, Duke Ellington, and Monk. So I kind of worked backwards, you know, and have been working backwards ever since in a certain respect, you know. But that's how it all got started for me. And then I started digging a little deeper into, you know, jazz was really spoke to me. I really took a a liking to it, and it was something that really spoke to me, and I started to, try to figure out and, learn more about the characters in that genre of music, and that led me to Barney Kessel, Joe Pass, Cal Farlow, Charlie Christian, Jim Hall, all the greats. And I went down that rabbit hole for a very long time.
You've been at this for a little while, and now we don't have live music. Are there any memories from live shows that you're thinking back to right now that's really kind of just good memories that have popped in your head from playing live?
I don't have any specific singular ones that stand out at the moment, but, I've been really lucky to play with a lot of my idols that I was listening to growing up. So all of those performances were always special to me, and I feel very fortunate in that way to have been able to share the stage with people that I grew up listening to and idolized, and still do. Even though I'm sharing the stage with them, they're still, idols of mine, like Lenny White, Mike Clark, Lonnie Smith, Les McCann, just to name a few, people like that.
So what do you like the best about being a musician?
The freedom of expression, I've been a musician my entire life. I really don't know anything else. People always say that, the music chooses you, and it sounds cliche, but it's the truth. It definitely chose me, and so I really don't know anything else. But the freedom of expression and to have the ability to express yourself through music, in my case, is a gift. I feel very fortunate. There are always the ups and downs of the actual career side of things and the monetary side of things. But, at the end of the day, I'm happy, and I feel very lucky to be doing what I'm doing.
When we do get to the end of COVID-19 and live music picks back up, what do you hope that both the musician and the audience realizes about this time away?
How important the arts are in every genre, how much society needs arts, music, every genre of art, and how important it is to cultural development. That's what I would hope.
Everything's going to come down to this. Everyone has a perception of you. Your family, your friends, your fans, but you're the one that's in your life. Who do you think you are?
Who do I think I am? Well, first and foremost, I try to be a good person. That's something that's obviously a life's work. I'm just trying to work on myself. I feel, in a way, this pandemic has brought on, has put things on pause, hit the pause button. And I feel like, for me at least, I'm trying to take advantage of that pause and kind of doing some self-reflecting and, looking at myself to see how I can better myself. And this is a challenging time too, so it definitely brings some things to the surface. So my answer to that would be I'm just trying to be a better person and grow.
Well, hey man, thank you for taking some time out today to open up about the new album and open up about this world and life and music. I really appreciate it.
Oh, Joe, thank you so much for taking the time, and it's my pleasure.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview. Into the finest cats in New York, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Tom for his time, music, and story. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino on the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.